What's good, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Christian here again with another video, and today I present to you guys the Dragon Ball Sparking Zero survey that just came out from the devs. So first things first, one of my viewers, while I was in my Kingdom Hearts stream that I completed a couple days ago, told me that the survey came out, but they didn't explain that it was for the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch 2. So already that's a red flag, and I'm gonna tell you why. Why is it only a survey for those two? Is because it's the games that just came out, and they're the ones that are gonna be, selling during the holidays. So this is 100% a money grab type move, okay? Because if it wasn't, then they would be surveying for the entirety of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. And another thing that I haven't been talking about is that the Nintendo Switch version has a previous patch on the game. It doesn't have the current version of the game. And that's a super red flag again to me, because it really means that the devs of this game are not prioritizing the gameplay of Sparking Zero. They just want a product out there so that they can make their sales and make their money. And that's a super red flag. And honestly, I don't blame Spike Chunsoft for that. I blame Bandai, since they're the publisher. They're the ones actually putting pressure on Spike Chunsoft to release the game in whatever state they have it in. That's why the Switch version basically just frame skips all over the place, and it's not as enjoyable to play as the other versions, and it just has a previous patch. That's unacceptable. But hey, at this point, what can we expect from Bandai and Spike Chunsoft as a dev collective? Not very much, okay? But I will be taking this survey. If you don't know who I am and you're new to this channel, I've been Z-ranked multiple times. I have over 600 hours on Sparking Zero. I played every mode in this game, and I studied the actual mechanics of the game and the game modes very extensively. So I'll be taking this survey, and I'll be completely 100% honest, and I will be giving my verbal feedback and kind of rationale behind my picks, okay? So let's get into it. So please select the option that applies to your ownership situation with the official release version of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. If you were gifted or borrow it from others, parents and friends, pre-select I own it, did not purchase it myself. Obviously, I'm an adult, guys, so I own it and I purchased it myself. This is kind of testing like what kind of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero fan are you. Let's go on to the next one. Please select the option that best describes how you obtained Dragon Ball Sparking Zero for Nintendo Switch or Switch 2. I don't have the Switch or the Switch 2 version. I have the PS5 version. I feel like this survey shouldn't even be focused on the Switch version. It should be focused on the overall game that still needs a lot of work, okay? So I'm going to tell the truth here. I'm going to say other. Please select the option that applies to your situation with Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I am currently playing it, even though I have slowed down quite a bit because the game right now is very mediocre, guys. The last patch did a lot of damage to the health of this game. A lot of people have been dropping it left and right. I dropped it technically. I'm currently playing it, but very slowly. Ambassador plays. Currently, same thing. Kamatsu, a lot of streamers, even Eli, one of the best streamers on Sparking Zero, doesn't really play Sparking Zero anymore. That's the current state of the game, guys. And it's not like we're just irrationally hating on the game. The game's just boring, mediocre, laggy, and inconsistent. It's a bad game right now, which is why I'm taking the survey. So hopefully they can fix it, okay? Please choose your overall level of satisfaction with the game of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 not being satisfied at all and 10 being very satisfied. Okay, so this is the overall score I would give Sparking Zero. Sparking Zero, when it started, was a very broken game. If you would have asked me the score back then, I probably would have gave it a 5 or a 4. But over time, they've been kind of improving it. The problem with Sparking Zero right now is just dull. The game is dull, it's boring, and the mechanics lead to boring, like formulaic gameplay. There's nothing like really interesting to chew on Sparking Zero. There's a little bit of tech, but a lot of the tech becomes irrelevant because the game mechanics just reduce it to Super Counter Wars and Vanish Wars, which are not very fun to play at the moment, okay? So the game is not, I wouldn't say it's an 8, a 9, or a 10. So that's out of the question. We're just not going to put it at 8, 9, or 10. I'm between a 6 and a 7. It's like a 6.5 now. It could be a 7 if they quickened up those Banish Wars, if they reduced the amount of Super Counter Wars, they made it a little bit more neutral heavy, and they added some interesting punish game, maybe I could put it at a 7. But right now it's not. I'm going to put it at a 6. And then when you tie up, and then when you include the story mode, and the story mode is just a bunch of slideshows they tell. The story is not interesting, not told through the gameplay. It's told through slideshows. That's completely terrible. Custom battles is people are not even interacting with the custom battles because the menus are so cumbersome to use. So the game is just overall mediocre, okay? And it's a little bit better than mediocre just because it has the Tenkaichi DNA in it. Okay, it has nothing to do with the actual like Sparking Zero game. It's just standing on the shoulders of giants, which is what kind of pushes it a little bit beyond the 5 level. But in my opinion, this is a 6 out of 10 game. I can't put it any higher than that. So I'm going to put it at 6, okay? Please select one item that best reflects your satisfaction with the game. Okay, so rank matches. Okay, this is the perfect opportunity for me to kind of say what I think about ranked matches, even at the start of the game and right now, okay? So ranked matches at the start of the game were very much irrelevant just because there was so much cheese and broken shit in the game that basically ranks and ranked matches were just irrelevant in my opinion. So over time, they've been improving that. The cheese has been reduced. They've equalized a little bit more the stats, okay? They got rid of the DP bonus values, and they equalize the health. So they made it a little bit more balanced, okay? But it's still unbalanced because there's still characters in the game with broken kits like Blue Gogeta, Android 13, stuff like that, okay? Right now, if I were to kind of say where I'm at as far as satisfaction with the ranked matches, I'm neutral, okay? And when the game started, I was dissatisfied, okay? And for the majority of the game, I've been dissatisfied with ranked matches. That's why I don't climb leaderboards. That's why I don't take it serious. And I'm a quick play warrior, basically, essentially, because ranked matches, in my opinion, have been broken from the start. And right now, they're not even good a year later. So I just got to put it at neutral. And if you would have asked me season 1 of ranked matches, like the first season they implemented in the first rank reset, I would have said satisfied because the patch that they attached to that season was a great patch in my opinion. And I know people didn't like the health on, regen on transformations for characters, but it made the character diversity a lot better. Right now, you only see the 10 DP characters. You don't even see androids no more. Because like I said in the first season, and people weren't really, paying attention to what I say, but what I say sometimes is right, guys. The androids were not the best characters even on season 1, okay? Even though people think they're broken, the stat disparity was there. I think people got kind of confused and they thought the stats were equal. They weren't equal, bro. Blue Gogeta was still better than the androids in season 1. People just were not aware, okay? But at least we had like 3 archetypes of characters able to be picked. You could have picked a Blue Gogeta or a Health Regen or an android. But right now we only have Blue Gogeta and Beerus, basically. So basically it declined for this season. So I'm gonna go from satisfied from last season to neutral this season, and damn near dissatisfied because really I'm not even playing the game like that anymore. So episode battle story mode, very dissatisfied. Very dissatisfied. Okay, the story mode in this game has no reason to be this bad. Okay, the story mode for this game could be really creative and really good if they just told the story through the gameplay instead of the damn slideshows. You have all these characters. You basically have a canvas of creation right there with all the characters that you can mix and match and put in team battles and force transformations, force story engagements and stuff like that. Even what ifs, there wasn't enough what ifs, just a bunch of boring cutscenes. It's hard to even revisit the story mode. So I'm going to put very dissatisfied. Okay, story mode was one of the worst things about this game in my opinion. Custom battle, I'm going to put dissatisfied because custom battle, basically one of the main issues with custom battles is that the AI a lot of the times is not fun to play against. Okay, the thing about the AI in this game is that it doesn't even know how to play the game properly because the devs don't know how to play the game properly because they were creating the game after release. So the game mechanics of the game now are different than the ones we had at release. So of course the AI is not programmed properly to really compensate for that. So now the AI is just not fun to play. He plays way too defensively, not offensively oppressive enough, not creative enough when he fights you. And he just does weird shit that just reminds you that he's an AI, and it takes you out of the game. So custom battles, just because of the AI alone, dissatisfied. And then when you add the menu, how bad it is to create stuff on this game, then you have to, I damn near want to put it in very dissatisfied alongside episode battle. But I'm gonna give it a little bit of leeway because I had a little bit of fun with custom battles here and there. So I'm gonna put it at dissatisfied. Okay. I'm overall satisfied with super training. Okay, missions, Whis' stamp books, Zeno's orders, and stuff like that. You know what? I'm gonna say very dissatisfied, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because most of the rewards in the missions, the Zeno's orders, the Whis stamp book, you just get Zenny and Dragon Balls and titles, bro. And no one cares about Zenny titles or anything like that. We want freaking costumes. We want accessories. We want to make our character look unique. And right now you're not providing that. And that has to do a lot with these missions and stamp books, basically. There's just nothing in the shop to buy. So what is the point of the missions? No one who plays this game gives a shit about the missions or the stamp book. So I'm going to say very dissatisfied. Okay. Graphical performance. Okay. Now, this is specifically for the Switch 2 and Switch version. Now, if this was the Switch version, I would have to say dissatisfied, you know, because obviously it looks worse, but because of the limitations of that system, it's understood. It's more about the gameplay performance that I'm kind of like not mad about because I don't even own the Switch version, but I'm just like confused about why would you release a game with the previous patch on it? It just screams that you don't give a fuck about how the game plays. You just care about making money off the product, and that's trash, okay? But I'm going to put neutral because I actually do not own the Switch version, and this is for the Switch version. Based on your experience, please choose the likelihood of you recommending Dragon Ball Sparking Zero to a friend or acquaintance on a scale of 0 to 10. Okay, how likely am I to recommend Dragon Ball Sparking Zero? Well, it depends on the person, okay? If it's a random person, if it's a video game fan, I'll tell them do not get Sparking Zero, bro. If you're just a video game fan, like you like fighting games or you like video games as a whole, but you're not like really a Dragon Ball fan, do not get Sparking Zero, bro. It's just gonna piss you off because even to this day, the game just does not function well as a video game. It's a mediocre video game, bro. I just got to keep it 100. And I have no incentive to rage bait anyone when it comes to this game because the player base has dwindled to such an extent. No one really cares about Sparking Zero like that anymore. It's not like I'm farming views off the negativity. This is just the truth. I wanted this game to be successful, but it's just not a good video game. It's a mediocre at best video game, okay? So if I'm recommending this game to a video game fan, I'm just not gonna do it, bro. I'm not gonna do it. Now, if you're a Dragon Ball fan, that's different because as far as Dragon Ball is concerned, they have a lot of content here for Dragon Ball fans. I have to admit, okay? There's a lot of characters. There's interesting enough gaming mechanics. Like, it'll still piss you off, but you'll at least enjoy the Dragon Ball fights. So if you're a very big Dragon Ball fan, then I recommend this game. So I'll say for video game fans, it'd be a 2 out of 10. I would not recommend this game at all. Not likely at all. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, I say I put myself at a 4. Because I've had people question and ask me like, okay, should I get Dragon Ball Sparking Zero now? Should I get Dragon Ball Sparking Zero now? And I tell them like, bro, just wait till it's on sale. Wait till it's on sale. Like, it's not a good video game. It's a good enough Dragon Ball game. But as far as video game is concerned, it's mediocre. So 4 out of 10 on likelihood to me recommend Sparking Zero. And if you're just a casual player, like let's say you don't play video games at all, even if you're a Dragon Ball fan, I wouldn't even recommend it to you at that point. Like if you're a Legends player, you're like a casual player, like a slow plays type player, like bro, there's nothing here for you. Like why would you even play Sparking Zero, bro? Like I wouldn't recommend it to you if you're that type of player. If you're like a phone gamer or something like that, bro, this game is not for you. It's too competitive. Like there's no casual modes. There's no really like party game like modes on here to enjoy. It's just basically a mediocre fighting game that gets treated like a competitive game. So you're just gonna get destroyed online. There's not a lot of fun here for phone gamers. You know what I mean? So 4 out of 10 for me on likelihood to recommend. Uh Honestly, I don't give a shit about background music. I don't even play with music on because I don't want to get copyrighted. So I don't care about that. I'm gonna be honest, leave that blank. Costumes and accessories, of course, bro. Costumes and accessories, of course, bro. Like that is one of the main complaints of this game. There's no costumes and no accessories to buy. It's terrible when it comes to that, which makes a lot of the content irrelevant. Okay, adding additional story content, of course, bro. Of course. Now, the thing about the story content is that if you're gonna add more slideshows, then don't even fucking do it, bro. Like if you're just gonna add slideshows, no point. Now, if you're gonna make a story episode and tell the story within the fight, within the episode, with interesting things that happen during the fight and interesting interactions, then yes, add story content. But if you're just gonna give me random 1v1s with slideshows in between, don't fucking do it, bro. I don't want to see that shit. That story content is trash. Do not do it. Additional playable characters. You know what? Even though I kind of want them to add this, I want to leave this blank because I don't want them adding more characters if they're gonna sacrifice costumes, accessories, story content, extra battles, and stages. So you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I don't give a shit about new characters. So I'm gonna leave this blank, and I'm gonna say I want extra battles, battle stages, story content, and I'm gonna say other, and I'm gonna say please quicken up vanish battles. Super counters should return to neutral after, I'm gonna say 4 clashes. Bam. That's what I want. If you add those things, if you add costumes, accessories, story content, extra battles, battle stages, and you make those changes where we're not in Vanish Wars all the time. Oh, and another thing. Vanish Wars shouldn't reset after a super counter. Bam. With those things, I think this game could be a lot better, bro. Just those changes alone would, in my opinion, would make this game a lot better. Additional playable characters? Not really, bro, because the characters that you're adding, they're not even strong, bro. You don't even make them strong enough for them to be fun to play or useful in the game. So what's the point of playable characters if you're not going to make them strong, you're not going to make them interesting, and you don't even care about the meta of your game? You have a whole DP battle, a whole DP battle game mode that you don't give a shit about, and you don't fix the lack of balance in that mode. So what is the point of playable characters? All right, next. Please select all the reasons that apply to why you decided to play Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Okay. Reasons to why I wanted to play Sparking Zero. 3D fighting action gameplay. That's in my opinion number one. Because like I've said before, I like arena fighters. I like 3D arena fighters. I like movement in 3D space. That is the main reason I play this game. I'm a video game fan first. Dragon Ball fan second. Okay. So as a video game, even though it's kind of like a mediocre video game, it gives me that 3D movement that I crave. So that's the number one reason is 3D fighting action gameplay. Game graphics look good. That's another reason. The graphics are really good for this game. I gotta admit. Now, characters from original series are faithfully recreated. Even though that's true, it's not one of the reasons why I play Sparking Zero, because there's other Dragon Ball games that do this, and I don't play them because they look like slop. Okay, like I said, I'm a video game fan first. Okay, because I watched the new anime series, felt inspired. Nope. Episode battle mode. Nope. Because I wanted to perform character special move using motion controls. Nope. Because the game received high ratings and reviews. Nope. Because the game, well, I don't even know if it received high ratings from IGN, but if it did, they're lying. Okay, that game was completely broken on release. Wide variety of playable characters. I don't even care about that, bro. For me, it was the 3D fighting action gameplay, bro, and the graphics. I used to play Tenkaichi games, and I want to do it again. Yes, that is true. That's one of the main reasons. Also, I was a huge fan of Tenkaichi 2 and 3, and that's about it. Those are the reasons, bro. I like 3D movement in games. The graphics look great, and I wanted to play a Tenkaichi game. I wanted a proper Tenkaichi game, and they kind of failed on that front, but I'm still here, guys. Please select the option that best reflects your feelings about the Dragon Ball IP in general. Right, the Dragon Ball IP, obviously I love it, bro. I can't, like, Dragon Ball is in my DNA, bro. Like, I can't escape Dragon Ball if I tried. Like, it's part of who I am at this point. I literally, like, damn near kind of raised me in a way. So obviously I love the Dragon Ball IP. I just wish you guys would treat it a lot better, bro. You guys don't respect your own IP. It's messed up, bro. And people fed up with it. Okay, please select all the Dragon Ball anime series and movies you have watched. Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Kai. Somewhat, not that much. Actually, I'll leave that blank. I've watched it, but not enough to say that I watched the entirety. Okay, Dragon Ball Super, Daima, all the movies. I've seen everything Dragon Ball related, and earlier movie titles. Please select all game titles from the list below that you have played. Okay, so I played Tenkaichi, Tenkaichi 2, Tenkaichi 3. Did not play the Breakers. Kakarot I played a little bit, but not that much. Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Xenoverse was not for me. Haven't tried this. Haven't tried that. Haven't tried that. So I played all the Tenkaichis, Fighter Z. Basically, all the good video games. I haven't played all the mediocre ones. And that's going to be a hot take, but hey, I keep it real on the channel, bro. Kakarot's all right. It's kind of a mediocre RPG. The Breakers looks like trash. Xenoverse 2 fighting mechanics are trash. Dragon Ball Legends is a phone game. It's for phone gamers. And, you know, it is what it is. Y'all could get on me in the comments if you want. Please select up to 5 of the following game genres that you like. All right, so check this, right? This is an interesting question because, like I've said a million times on this channel, this is an incomplete game. They're building this game over time, right? So the genre of this game right now is a fighting game. It is not a party game. There's no party mechanics or game modes on this game right now. But right here, they're kind of testing the audience of the game. They want to see, okay, what audience are we serving in the future? If we were to change the game mechanics and the game modes, who are we going to serve here? And this is a survey to kind of dictate, like, okay, what's the audience of our game? Okay. But like I said, I'm a video game fan first. So I like a lot of genres. Okay. I like party games, not that much, but I do like them. It says select up to 5. So I only have 5. Okay. So JRPGs is one of my favorite genres. Okay, so I'm going to pick that. Action platformers, Super Mario Bros, Will-O-Wisp, okay. Souls-like, okay. Action RPGs. Action RPGs, for sure, one of my favorites. Shooters, okay. So I got JRPGs, action RPGs, shooters. Those are my top 3. Party game is there, but it's questionable. I might take it off if I see anything. Apex Legends is right now my favorite game. I'm not going to lie to you. Do I like the genre Battle Royale a lot? No. But Apex Legends is my favorite game right now. I got to admit that. So, okay, fighting games. Super Smash Bros. Hold up, guys. Because y'all like to say that, you know, party games, that this is a party game. Smash Bros is a party game according to you guys. But according to Bandai, party games are Mario Party, Fall Guys, and Raven Rabbids and stuff like that. That doesn't include Smash Bros or Sparking Zero. So yeah, I'm going to take party game off just based on that because they have Smash Bros down here. And Smash Bros damn near my favorite series of all time. So I'm picking Smash Bros over here. But yeah, even Bandai doesn't agree with you guys that Sparking Zero is a party game because Smash Bros is not even a party game according to them. According to them, Smash Bros is a fighting game. Okay? So let's get that straight. Let's stop calling this a freaking party game and calling everything a party game. You guys are crazy. It means nothing. Okay, so stop calling shit party games if it's not gonna be mini games and shit that you could play with your family like Mario Party. Okay. All right. So I got JRPGs, action RPGs, shooters, fighting games. I got one more. Well, I'm gonna have to go with Apex, bro. Apex is my favorite game right now. So I gotta go with Apex here. So Battle Royale. Please select your gender. Male. Please indicate your age. 30 to 34 years old. Yes, I am a middle-aged man according to the internet. That is right. That's why I have my coffee here, so I could keep up with you youngins on the internet. All right, please provide any feedback on Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, including any suggestions or requests you may have in as much detail as possible. Holy shit, bro. I could write an essay about that. But hold on. Let me see what I'm going to say here. All right, so I just wrote a long message to the devs of this game. So I'm going to go over it. Okay, so number one, the game has a lot of potential, but I feel like the gameplay is being interrupted constantly by never-ending Vanish Wars and Super Counter Wars. We need to find a way to return the game to neutral faster, either by quickening the Vanish minigame and or not resetting Vanish Wars with a Super Counter. Super Counter Wars shouldn't be unlimited, meaning after a couple of clashes, it should return us to neutral so that we can regain control over our character faster. Internet stability or lack thereof is deciding matches because our main defensive mechanic is super counter. This wouldn't be so bad if combos didn't extend for so long. So in my opinion, combo extensions should be reduced to just one extension, and damage scaling should be reduced to compensate. That way you're not stuck in a combo for so long, but you're still doing similar damage, right? Character diversity in this game is terrible. People just pick one or two characters that are the best, and that's because you give no incentive to pick away from those characters. Last season, you had more diversity because of health regen on transformations. So the answer wasn't to take that away, it was to add tools to other characters that didn't have the HP regen on transformation. So you could have upped the transformation buff and give it to those characters that don't receive health, but bring the HP regen back, and you would see more diversity for the next season. Character kits are underpowered. Your DLC characters are being wasted because you're not giving them the tools to compete against the big hitters already in the game. SS4 Diamond Goku isn't even better than SS4 GT Goku. You need to up a lot of the buff effects in this game for all the characters to make those characters useful. And a lot of the characters in the middle of the DP scale or group could get buffed with more effects so that they're useful in DP battle and more competitive in singles. DP battle is currently unbalanced and broken. The fusions can access 10 DP forms for way too cheap, and Android 13 starting with 2 skill points and the transformation costing 2 is just broken, okay? So this is ruining the character diversity in DP battles. Broly, for that matter, can access 9 for 2 skill points, so that just makes 13 and Broly the best 5 DP characters in the game, and no one else can stand a chance. So we can fix that just by making those transformations more expensive and maybe starting 13 with no skill points, okay? Number 7, we need more costumes and accessories as a reward for playing Warrior Face-Off or Custom Battle. Right now, there's no incentive to even play those modes. The AI just plays weird when you play those modes, so it's not even fun to play. So we need to fix the AI, make it more offensive and more like a real player, and you might see people actually try the mode out. Number 8, we need more recovery options when standing up or recovering from a blowaway. Okay, right now it's too easy to just Z-burst dash behind an opponent after you send them flying, and then it's hard to wake up when you're on the ground. You technically just get hit and punished very easily when you try to recover. So, and the only way out is a super counter that leads to a super counter wars or vanish wars that never end. So we need to find ways to return the game to neutral more often so that players can regain control over their characters and start having fun again instead of just playing mini games the whole time, okay? Charge Ki Blast should not be deflectable while moving because it's leading to bad playstyles, a turtle playstyle, a passive playstyle, okay? Okay, so now that you nerfed a lot of the key blast options, there's no need for that. Okay, so you can make those undeflectable while moving again. So we have options at long range to kind of, hit opponents and see burst dash behind it. The main problem with zoning was just the air palm from MUI, and you already nerfed that into the ground. So we don't need to be able to deflect all of the charge key blast while moving anymore. Okay, right now at long range, the game just gets completely stalled out because defensive options are just too strong, allowing people to just move backwards for free while deflecting, and that's bad for the game. It leads to passive playstyles. Okay, so in summary, we need to bring excitement back to this game. Right now, it's in a dull and boring state for all the reasons I described previously. Okay, the game needs to spice up the characters, buff the characters in creative ways. We need to give players more control over their character through quickening the minigame so that we're not stuck in Vanish Wars for so long. They take way too long and they happen way too often. Balance issues need to be addressed with care to increase the character diversity, okay? So we need to reduce the characters that are ruining the balance of the game and add tools to a lot of the cast so that we have more characters to pick. We need to add fun rewards and costumes to incentivize the player to play single player modes, and the netcode needs to be improved. Or if you're not going to improve the netcode for whatever reason that we don't understand, then you need to change the gameplay so that it's not as reliant on timing defense mechanics, because right now super counter is the defensive mechanic that is necessary to play the game, and it's reliant on delay and lag, and that's bad for the game. Maps need to be optimized better because it doesn't matter how many maps you add if we can only play on hyperbolic, because all the other maps just lag the game. So that needs to be fixed for season 2. But overall, I gotta say this game has a lot of potential to be competition to something like Smash Bros. Not something overly competitive, but an actual fighting game that's enjoyable to play, that's very easy to pick up. This game has a lot of potential to be that if you take it serious. But as of now, it has not been treated with care. It's very apparent to anyone who plays this game. Maybe you guys just don't have the resources to support it, in the proper way. It's very apparent. I mean, the patches where you change things and you don't even tell us, the shadow patches, they don't go unnoticed, bro. Like, it's very easy to anyone who plays this game to notice changes in the gameplay, and they're very easy to notice because whenever you change something, you add like 2 to 3 other bugs with the changes. And that just needs to stop. That can't continue for season 2 if we want this game to be successful. Another thing, revenge counter not working for almost the entirety of this game's life cycle is just unacceptable and kind of embarrassing. I'm not going to lie, okay? Right now, revenge counter is too easy to perception. You can even perception it while doing other actions. Like, why is that a thing? That needs to be fixed, and that is just embarrassing, guys. I mean, come on, like, things like that can't continue, bro. It just can't keep going like this. And I say these things as someone who loves this game, and I want it to do well. I don't do these videos to shit on the game or anything like that. I just want this game to be a good game, and I think it's possible. I think it's possible to make this a good game with attention to detail and some care. Okay, that's what I want you guys to achieve for season 2, and maybe you can turn some of this bad sentiment around this game around. So hopefully you do that. Hopefully you turn this around, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.